y'all, this is Jasmine here, coming back to y'all with a new video about my personal journey with buying my house or building my home at 22 years old. This is a part of my series on YouTube, so I just want to say thank y'all so much for continuing to follow and subscribe and like everything, and follow my Literally Financial page, where we're talking literally about finances and financial literacy. First and foremost, I definitely want to apologize for going MIA as well. I know I've been missing in action. As y'all can see, I got a new do. I have cut my hair, so that's new. And I've just been so busy with work, honestly. It's peak season right now, and I've been extremely busy with work, and time management is just truly getting away from me with everything. So hopefully I can keep the videos coming after this. I do want to give y'all an occupation video like I promised. And I also want to give y'all a house tour. As you can see, I sort of got a different background going on today than before. The last time I was at my kitchen island, but today I decided, since it's been so long since I've shot a video, I would give y'all a little different, setting. Give y'all a little different tone, a little ambiance. Got the candle going, got the fireplace on. I'm on my Kevin Samuels. Okay, I should never probably say his name. I hope I don't get in trouble for that on YouTube. Anywho, I'm giving y'all just a little different vibe today. But yes, this is going to be a video about my journey with buying a house at 22 years old. So I do want to make it clear that before I started this process, mentally, I've always sort of been a little bit more mature, and also I've always had the mindset of numbers. Numbers is my thing. No Larry June pun intended, but numbers is my thing. And since for as long as I can remember, my mom has always sort of raised me to be 5 or 10 steps ahead. So at 15, 16, this was sort of the way that I was thinking. So I say all that to say that when I started this process, I was a little mature for my age. At 22, before I even applied for a home loan or found a realtor, I knew all about different loans. I knew all about FHA. I knew all about conventional loans. I knew all about credit scores and the 3 different credit bureaus. I knew about saving your money, financially saving your money. And to be quite honest with you, none of it was taught to me. I applied myself to be where I am today mentally. I don't have a big support system. I don't have like a 2-parent household. I didn't have any of those things. So in order for me to be this person, it took a lot of me listening to my mentors, listening to my mother, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos. It really takes you applying yourself in life in order to be somewhere like this at such a young age when nothing's given to you. So I just want to disclose that. So yes, now that I've got that out the way, I'll go on with the video about how I started this journey of building a house at 22 years old. So for as long as I can remember, at 22, I had lived with my mom my entire life. Around 17, 18, I started working at 15. So around 17, 18, I actually started like paying my own bills and taking care of my own things, paying my car, my insurance, my half of the bills, my half of rent, and so on and so forth. But it was sort of just getting to a point where I was just like, I need to move, because you could tell that my woman was womaning, okay? And, it just gets to a point where you just sort of need your own. So because I had never went out for college, I attended college but never lived off of campus. Lived on campus. So I never lived on campus for school, so I continued to live at home. And it was just getting to that point where it was time for me to just get my own stuff and move out. I needed my own space. So I started talking to my mom, and I was like, yeah, I want to move out. This is what I'm thinking. I live in the metro Atlanta area. So at the time, I was like, I want to move to Buckhead. I want to get an apartment in Buckhead. And my mom was like, rent gonna be crazy. So that was the first thing. Rent is crazy. 2, rent control is crazy, which ain't no rent control in Atlanta. And 3, my mom was telling me like, Jazz, you have a great credit score. You should apply to, you know, buy a house. And I want to just say a few things with that. My mom is not a homeowner. My dad is not a homeowner. To be quite honest with you, I'm the one out of 3 siblings. I'm the one that's a homeowner. So this is not something that I've seen. So when she gave me the idea of you should buy a home, it was not something that I had really seen happen in my family. So I sort of pushed it to the back of my head. I was like, I'm gonna get this apartment, point blank period. I want to live in Buckhead. And side note, I sort of have like a little fetish for apartments. I don't know why, and I don't know what it is, but apartments are just so cozy and small to me. They're so cute. They're so like, it's just a vibe. Like apartments are just a vibe. That was a step that I skipped over because I went straight to buying a house. And I was definitely eager to live in an apartment. So yes, back to what I was saying. I was eager to live in an apartment. My mom was like, Jazz, you know, she didn't really push me, but she put the idea out there in the universe that I should buy a home. So once she told me this, I sort of didn't think twice about it. I really didn't, you know, like I said, I didn't pay any attention to it really until I want to say a month or two after that conversation. I was having a conversation with a coworker of mine, and he was telling me how he went through this home ownership program to buy his first home with his wife. He was saying that you don't need any money to close, you don't need money to put down. So I was like, oh wow. I looked into the program and it seemed like something that I would be interested in. So it wasn't until I looked into that program that I was like, oh wow, I want to buy a house. But then I realized that with that program, you know, it's going to take a little bit more time in order to buy something. So I then started, you know, doing the things that I needed to do on my end to make sure that I could buy a home. I was checking my credit score with all 3 bureaus, which my credit score has never been bad. So at 22, my credit score was like a 760. I knew exactly that what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to buy a brand new home. If it was not being built, I did not want it built within it needed to be built within the last 5 years. I didn't want anything that was outdated. I just didn't want to deal with those issues personally. Time management, I'm always at work. I don't have time to, you know, deal with a fixer-upper. I need a turnkey house because this is the lifestyle that I live. I'm at work all day. I don't want to come home to stepping over pieces of paper because my floor is being redone. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I knew I wanted new construction. I knew where I wanted to live. I knew what I did not want. I knew that I needed a garage. I had all these things already mapped out in my mind because, as I was stating earlier, my mom raised me to sort of be 5 to 10 steps ahead. She raised me to know what I want, exactly how I want it, when I want it. So going into this process, I made it easy for my realtor because there was no Q&A. There wasn't much of, okay, well, what do you want? Or, you know, what won't you take? Or what will you do this? Or will you do that? Me personally, I knew exactly what I wanted. Anywho, back to the story. So, like I said, my coworker introduced me to this program. I went on Instagram and I followed this program's page. And you know how like Instagram like redoes your algorithm once you follow different people? So I was on Instagram one day scrolling and I seen what I didn't know at the time was my future realtor. I seen her in a picture with one of her clients and they had just closed on this beautiful townhome. So I clicked on the picture on Instagram off of my Explore page. I followed the realtor. She met all of my criteria, which at the time, my only criteria was being somebody from my kind. I felt like that's what I needed as a young Black woman in today's day and age. I wanted somebody I could relate to. And I know that personally, you're going to go through white lenders. You're going to go through, I wouldn't even say white. It's really rare that you go through Black-owned lenders. You know, SunTrust is not Black-owned. Cadence Bank is not Black-owned. So I knew that that was rare. And with that being rare, I wanted to have as many people on my side as I could at that time with starting this journey. So Like I said, I saw her on Instagram. I followed her. I continued to watch her material. This was around November 2020. I found her page, so about a year ago. And then she had free consultations. She had free 30-minute Zoom consultations. So December, I don't remember exactly when, but it was the end of December. The end of December, I want to say, I actually set up the consultation, and me and her talked on FaceTime or Zoom. It was actually Zoom. So we talked on Zoom for 30 minutes, and she was just ecstatic. She was like, Jasmine, you could totally do this. She was so supportive. She was amazing. She off the bat was like, wow, I'm just amazed at who you are at 22 and your mindset and what you want to do. So from there, she said, me and you are going to talk when the time is right. In that 30-minute consultation, I had already knew when I wanted to buy a house based off of when my lease was up. I knew when I didn't want to buy a home. I knew exactly how I wanted to do it. I knew when I wanted my credit pulled. I had all of this mapped out already. So mentally, I didn't want to buy a home because I knew I wanted my house to be built. It takes 5 to 6 months to build a home. So mentally, I didn't want to start building until around July, because that would have gave me August, September, October, November, December. And my lease where I was living with my mom was going to be up around February, I believe. So you have to put in a 60-day notice. So if I would have started building in like June or July, it would have put me right at the point to break my lease. So, or, to leave. So I decided at the time, I'm going to wait. My realtor, when I told her this on the 30-minute consultation, she was like, I don't really know, Jazz. You might not want to do that. The market is crazy. And so I'm still every day. I had an app. And I'm going to link the app below or like list it below. I can't think of the name right now. It might be like New Home Source or something like that. I had an app where you could like go through new constructions in your area or according to like your zip code or your city. I had about 30 new constructions in there, about 30. One day I'm at work and I decided to look up one of the new constructions. I goes to that place because it was really close to my work. So I said, okay, let me go here and check it out. Went there, checked it out. They had beautiful homes, just some didn't have garages, and I couldn't do no garage living in Atlanta. No, child. I needs me a garage. So once I realized that, okay, they're pretty much sold out, I went to the next property or the next location, which was where I'm at now. I came to this site where they were building homes, and she told me there's one left. This was February 24th. February 24th or 23rd. It was February 23rd. February 23rd. So this is what? December. So this is 2 months after I talked and had the 30-minute consultation with my realtor. Which, by the way, she was my dream realtor when I saw her. So working with her was amazing. But 2 months after talking to her, mind you, I'm just going to look at these places to see when are they going to start selling, what's the listing prices, how much are they. I'm just going like to window shop. I didn't go to buy a house. I want to make that very clear, because again, my plan was to not move out or even start the process of buying a home until June, July. So I didn't even want to apply for a loan until March, April, May, somewhere around there. So February, I'm just going to look. I'm literally just going to sightsee. I'm going to, okay, let me see what this is, what it looks like, how it works. Because outside of that 30-minute consultation with my realtor, I had not known much about this process. I've never seen it before. I've never been through it before. So I'm like, okay, let me go see what it's about. So when I went to the first one and she told me they were pretty much sold out and they were out of the townhouses with garages, I said, okay, well, I'm going to go to the second location. Pulls up to the second location, and the lady, I go through the model. There's a model home. And she tells me, take a walk around, take a look. I take a look and I liked what I saw. I was like, this is beautiful, honey. It's got my name written all over it. So she tells me there's one, I don't know if I should say slab of land. I don't know. There's one unit left, right? That's what she tells me. There's one home left. Not one home like this. There's one home, period, left for this location. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And she's like, if you want this house, you need to apply to, she gave me all the information. She gave me an information packet. And she says, you need to apply like yesterday because it's going to sell quick. Mind you, these houses were being built. So at this point, they selling land. They selling grass. They selling dirt, okay? It was beyond me that this stuff was sold out. I'm like, how y'all selling patches of dirt? Where you do that at? But clearly they were selling out quick. So she's like, look, there's one left. If you want it, you need to apply. It's going to be a lot of people trying to get this. So I calls my realtor. Mind you, I haven't even really talked to her since December. I think I might have told her I was going to look at houses and stuff like that, but I had never told her, hey, I'm trying to buy a house now, because that was not the plan. So I call my realtor and I say, oh my goodness, Andrea, I'm here looking at this house and I think this is my house. They're building them. She says it's going to take 5 to 6 months. And if I get this now, it'll be done at this time frame. But Andrea, I don't know what to do. I wasn't trying to buy a house right now. I honestly don't know what to do. Should I apply? And my realtor said, hell yeah, you need to apply. So I applied through the bank, and I kid you not, God is so good. February 26th or 24th is when I went to the site to go look at the model home. A day and a half later, I was approved. February 26th is the day that I signed the contract to start on my house. And March 8th was the day that they broke ground and they actually started digging up the dirt to build the house that I am living in right now. So I am truly so blessed. So it went like that. I wasn't planning on building a house or buying a house this soon. I wasn't. So once they started the process, like I said, they gave me some information. They gave me their preferred lender. Most places when you're building, they're going to have like a preferred lender where pretty much if you go through them, you'll gain an incentive, like getting money off of your closing costs and things of that sort. So out the gate, because I knew I had a good credit score, I knew I was young, I knew that, I'm in a good position at my age, lenders are going to be grabbing at me. I applied through multiple lenders. I went through 2 main lenders. Yeah, I went through 2 main lenders. I got approved with both of them off jump. Once I got approved for what I needed, like I said, I paid $1,000 escrow money to secure my land. So February 26th, when I signed the contract, I gave them $1,000 escrow to, the $1,000 is basically saying, this is like my deposit for the home almost. Like nobody else can jump me. Can't nobody else come get this land. This is mine, okay? So that's what I went and did, and they started the process. I did record throughout the process, and I'll, do that in a separate video, maybe add the clips to that. But in this process, honestly, y'all, it was really that simple for me. Once I applied, it was like nothing else after that, to be quite honest with you. So once I applied with them and they approved me, I had to go to a design center meeting. So before they could start building March 8th, I want to say March 3rd, I had an appointment at a design center. When you build your house from new, this is what they don't tell you. And this is why I'm doing this video for the culture. So when you go to, I didn't know this. When you go look at a model house and your house is being built, it never occurred to me that I would have to choose everything in the house. I thought that I was purchasing a house that looked just like the model house. this is what you're buying. I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all buying. If y'all don't know this, because I didn't know this. When you go to a model house and they say, hey, do you like the house or whatever, and you say yes, you are paying for the floor plan. That is it. You are paying for, okay, when I walk in my house, the door will be here, the garage will be there, there'll be 2 doors here, there'll be some windows over here, there'll be a fireplace over here, there'll be the kitchen over here, the stairs are on this side. You're paying for the floor plan. Didn't nobody tell me that you're gonna go to the design center and you're gonna choose everything for your house. When I say everything, y'all, everything. I'm talking about floors, the types of floors, the color of floors, doorknobs, cabinets, the fixtures on your cabinets, appliances. If you want to upgrade appliances, if you want, your hardwood or your railings a certain way, if you want your carpet to be a certain way, certain lights you want in your house. Nobody told me this. Nobody. So I did not know this, y'all. And let me tell you this. When you're building a house, the only other costly thing that you're going to have to pay for outside of your initial escrow fee, which isn't even costly, $1,000 to put down on a house is not much. But one thing you're going to need out of your pocket, when you go to the design center to build your home and they tell you, hey, do you want this for your sink? Do you want this fixture for your tubs? Do you want this for your light switches? Do you want this? They're going to give you a booklet. And I don't know if they all work this way, but the people I went through work this way. They're going to give you a booklet and they're going to tell you, hey, this is what comes with your house. This is standard. This ain't what you seen in the model house. Oh no, what we showed you in the model house was upgrades. You want to live like that? Cha-ching, you got to pay for it, okay? They're going to tell you, and the standards ain't really that bad. They just not super fancy how you would like, So they're going to tell you, hey, this is standard. This is what comes with your house. The fireplace comes with your house, but if you want a different color on it, upgrade. We're going to need the money for that. If you want backsplash, upgrade. We're going to need the money for that. And when I say need the money for that, they need the money for that right then and there. So when I went to the design center, the floors in the model house were the floors I have now. I don't know if y'all can see, but it was like this, it's like my floors are like it's like a dark wood, right? When I went to the model house, the floors were dark wood. I'm thinking these are the floors that come with the house. Oh, no, ma'am. No. They wanted to give me some like original hardwoods, like the light brown hardwoods, like giving 2000s hardwoods floors. And that's not the look I was going for. I like the very modern, dark floors, white granite. That's my vibe. So I had to pay, you have to pay, I believe 40 to 60% of whatever it costs. So I had to pay out of pocket. Mind you, I just signed the contract February 26th. A week later, March 3rd, I'm at the design center having to pay cash for upgrades in the house. So it's like they sell you a house, but it's really like a off-budget house. I ain't gonna say an off-budget because it's still a house, but it's like the basics, like regular fixtures, regular floors. If you want the nice modern things you see in the model home, you have to pay for that stuff cash. I did not know that because I was like, I thought I was getting what the model house looked like, but you're not. Nah. Ain't nobody ever told y'all that. I'ma tell you. So just be ready for that. So have more than enough cash for any upgrades that you think you might want in your house. So just know that when you go look at a model house when you're building a home, more than likely your home is not going to look like that. That's what the upgrades of the house look like. Okay. Other expenses that I spent on my house as well. My microwave, my stove, my dishwasher came with my home. I have a laundry room. I had to go buy the washer and the dryer for the laundry room. And I also had to buy my own refrigerator as well. Not all places are like this because I believe The company I went through to get my house built, they used to sell the refrigerators with the house as well prior to COVID, but then I guess COVID just messed everything up, so I had to buy my own fridge. But those are other expenses as well when you're building a home. You have to buy your own refrigerator and washer and dryer. You have to have money for all the updates that you want in your house when you're building your home at the design center. Outside of that, once I paid for my designs, or once I paid for my, for how I wanted things around the house at the design center, I didn't have to come out of pocket with anything until I had to get my appliances for my home. So I just waited 5 or 6 months. That's another good thing about buying a house as well. Waiting 5 to 6 months for a home to be built gives you ample time to save money for your closing or, any of that. It really gives you more than enough time to like play catch up and do whatever you need to do. So in this 5 to 6 months, that's pretty much what I did. I just worked really hard to save for my closing. And then once my closing got here, that was pretty much it. I will say that when you're building a home, sometimes it may get stretched out. As y'all know, supplies, it's just an estimate. So originally my closing date was supposed to be July 23rd or July 21st, and they pushed it back to August 16th. So it got pushed back a few weeks, and that was because I believe supplies, and then I live in Atlanta as well, so it rains a lot here. So that pushed me back to August 16th, and August 16th, I went in and I closed. Everything that happened throughout the process was pretty much expected. It was pretty much things that I already knew. If I could give any tips, it'd definitely be, before you start this process of buying a house or even considering buying a home, you don't need to be the smartest out the bunch. You do not need to be, a banker or a financial advisor, nothing like that. But I think it's highly important that before you even think about buying a home, that mentally you have done the work as far as being financially literate. If you don't know what the 3 credit bureaus are, if you don't know anything about saving or budgeting, if you've never applied yourself to this type of financial discipline, buying a home may not be for you. Buying a home may not be something for you right now. Because I'll never just say not for you or never, but maybe it's not something, I think it's important that people educate themselves on financial discipline and what it actually looks like to be a homeowner. And I feel like we live in a day and age of social media where it's cute to wave the keys and be like, oh, I brought a house, oh, jumping up and down. But this is money that somebody is trusting you with and that you have to pay back. So you get approved for $250,000, you have to pay back $250,000. So I just want our community and our environment, or at least on this page, I want us to focus on being financially literate. And that's why my name on Instagram is literally financial, because we're literally speaking about financials. So just being smart with your money, save your money, invest your money. And I don't think you should have any issues with this process. Buying a house is very doable and tangible for anybody. And I feel like as long as you apply yourself, you'll be fine. I'm trying to think, what else advice could I give y'all throughout this process? I want to say as well, in addition to being like literally financial, I think it's important also to understand that banks are going to look for 2 years of employment at a consistent place. I talked about this on my TikTok, but I feel like I need to go into depth about this. So let's say you get a raise, right? Let's say, because this is my situation. So let's say you're at a job and you go from making $20 an hour to $35 an hour, right? So you get this huge raise and you apply for a house. Even though this raise may show that, you know, let's say you make $35 an hour, you work full time, let's say you make $10,000 a month, that's $120,000 a year gross. That's very simple to us. To us, it's, oh, I make $10,000 a month, multiply that by 12, that's $120,000 a year. And wrong. I want to cover the fact that this is what the banks are going to do. Let's say you got this raise and you make $120,000 a year. Now, what a bank is going to do, let's say you've been making that for 6 months. They want 2 years of consistent employment history. So let's say you made that for 6 months. The other year in 6 months, they're going to look at your other jobs, those pay stubs, those W-2s, those W-4s, and what they're going to do is they're going to average out your income. That is the shittiest process ever, because it's like, dang, you're not respecting the fact that I make this much money now, but they don't look at that. They average out your stuff. So I want y'all to be super aware of that most banks, most lenders are going to average out your income over 2 years. So keep that in mind, because I know a lot of people don't know that. Keep in mind as well that before you find a realtor, unless you're just confident that you're going to get approved for what you want, I personally would say have a pre-approval letter. Some people don't know this, so I'm just going to put it out there for y'all. Most realtors will not spend time working with you if you do not have a pre-approval letter. If you don't have a pre-approval letter, you know, why would I show you a house worth $300,000 when you might only get approved for $200,000? You know, so if you don't know what a pre-approval is, a pre-qualification is pretty much when there's no credit checks done or anything like that. Pre-qualification is, okay, well, based off of what we see, which is like you making on-time payments, you may be eligible for $150,000. Pre-approval is actually going to a lender, them doing a hard inquiry on your credit report, pulling all of that, collecting all your information, your W-2s, your income for the year, what you make, job verification. They pull all of this and then they come back to you and say, this is a guaranteed amount that you can get from us to go buy a house. So they basically say, okay, a pre-approval letter is pretty much, hey, we went through what we needed to, we've cleared you, you're approved for $200,000 to go buy your home. That is what a pre-approval is. So most realtors want you to have that paper in hand first before you even, you know, start the process, because you need to know exactly what you're working with. So I recommend that you go online and Google lenders near me. Then once you Google the lenders near you in your area, look at their interest rates, look at the type of loans that they offer, look at the type of loan that you want to have, see if it has PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. Look at all of those things and see exactly what fits best for you, and speak over with your realtor about it. If you need some, you know, advice, or if you need, you know, a helping hand or some guidance, talk to your realtor. Hey, what loan do you think is best for me in my situation with my credit score, where I'm at? And they'll give you some guidance on that. And then from there, once you look up your lenders and your different loans and your lenders in your area, apply for the loan, get your pre-approval letter, and go look for your home. So this can be good if you're building for new construction, or whether you're trying to buy something that's already built. It honestly doesn't matter, but it's definitely best to have that pre-approval letter first. I didn't have a pre-approval letter when I started, and that's because I knew that I was in a good position. Thank you, Lord. But I knew at 22 years old with a 760 credit score, I was going to be straight. I'm like, you know, I ain't coming to y'all coming to me. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't go in with a pre-approval letter, but honestly, if I did this all over again, just me going through this process and this experience, that is something I would definitely do first, though, just to get it out the way, just so that you don't even have that waiting, or you look at a house. Because what if I would have looked at this house and I wouldn't have gotten approved for this amount? Then what? I would have been salty. So just knock it out the way. Go get pre-approved. Another quick tip as well, pre-approval letters usually last up to 90 days. So don't go pre-approved for nothing if you're not ready to buy a house within the next 90 days. Because if that loan expires, you're going to have to reapply again and get another pre-approval letter. So only apply for pre-approval when you're ready and when you for sure know, okay, in this next 30, 60, 90 days, we packing up stuff already, we bubble wrapping glasses, it's time to go. But hopefully this video was helpful. It's 35 minutes long and I don't know how I'm gonna clip this down, but hopefully this video was helpful. And if y'all have any questions, definitely let me know. I know it might have been all over the place, but this was my process and my journey with buying my first home. It was not hard at all for me. And honestly, I think it's because I spent 5 to 6 months pretty much just chilling until the house was done. Like when a house is being built, you pretty much just chilling until the house done being built. And then as you get closer to the time of closing, then that's when you start stressing and let me hurry up and let me make sure I got this. So yes, but yes, I'm extremely, grateful for my friends, my family, my realtor, Andrea Smith in the Atlanta area. Y'all follow her. I will link her below. Extremely grateful to my mom for even allowing me to even have this type of mindset at such a young age and for just raising me to be an amazing young woman. Grateful to my friends, all of that, my supporters, y'all for subscribing and, rocking with me. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. Maybe, the next video I could do a Q&A for y'all, an occupational video, and then a house tour. So yes, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, this is Jasmine Lee, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.